No wonder the Avengers didn't take you, or the X-Men. They'll take fucking anyone. I mean, you are a ridiculous, immature, half-wit moron. I have never met a sadder, more attention-starved, jabbering little prick in my entire life, and that says a lot, because I've been alive for more than 200 fucking years. And I'll tell you, that bald chick was right about one thing. You will never save the world. You couldn't even save a relationship with a goddamn strip.
It does feel like the Staples button push to get out of trouble or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, that was easy? The
easy button.
Yeah.
I feel like whenever Marvel's about to get into shit, they're like, all right, TVA.
Yeah.
TVA.
Which, for what this movie needed to be, I'm fine with it, because they just wanted to be like, how do we say goodbye to the Fox era?
I get it.
Which is fine. But yeah, no, it's a fair point, though. I do understand and agree with you. I'm also just kind of like, I enjoyed my popcorn, so I'm like, let's do this. And
I enjoyed it too. Don't get me wrong. And to Pat's point, I think it's a nitpick, not a not something that ruined the movie. I feel like, obviously, again, I didn't watch Loki season 2, but I feel like some of the grandiose of the TVA from Loki 1 and what we were supposed to be sold on with the end of with Kang at the very end, it was like, is now kind of lost. Like, it feels like anybody necessarily, Deadpool, is jumping in and out of. You can access the TVA relatively easy now that it's been introduced. Not like something like, hey, what's his name, the Watch or whatever. Like, he's still reverent because he only occasionally interferes with what's her name. Like, he wasn't jumping in and out of situations. Now, like, if you're gonna let Deadpool kind of just run around the TVA, it's like, all right, well, if Cable shows up and he starts time traveling, it's like, all right, we'll just run to the TVA real quick. Or anybody else that starts to time travel.
Yeah.
Or dimension hop, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, what good is fucking Doctor Strange now?
I mean,
sling ring, baby.
Yeah.
But that's not the dimensions, is it?
So this was talked about a little bit on different media. The sling ring that they have is not time and space. It's simply space, so you're able to go different spots in the world. The sling ring that Cassandra Nova actually had 2 Infinity Gems on either side. It had the space and time gems on it, so that's how she was able to send them to the TVA. It's because that particular sling ring had both time and space. Sorry to nerd, but I nerd.
No. I mean, that makes sense. And I'm just saying, like,
why did it work?
Because reasons. Yeah. Because
it's the same reason why Thanos is able to access them. You just have them, like
no. But remember, the rules on the Infinity Gems are it has to be from the universe.
What do you mean it has to be from the universe?
It has whatever. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so in Loki, in Loki season 1, so it's not spoilers because you didn't see season 2. When he arrives there, the Infinity Gems hold no power. Although I would postulate that potentially, since the Void is not in the TVA.
Yeah,
that's how they can work, because she's outside the TVA and gets them in.
True.
She doesn't bring the gems in, so
maybe
they still maintain power. Yeah.
So maybe it's not that it won't work. It only works in your home universe. It's just it doesn't work in the TVA.
Yeah. They're nullified within the TVA. There's also other potential questions and stuff, because we also have what if season finale of the first season, where there's a whole thing there, but like different universes vibrate at different frequencies, but that's another discussion for another day.
Hot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, what was your nip? That was Pat's nitpick. What was yours, Ken?
I mean, I guess like little things that was the Gambit's not having his eyes, but that is clearly a nitpick. I guess probably my nitpick would have been why does Deadpool go to see Happy Hogan and jump worlds? Because it's like, are we saying because they clearly delineated there's in 2 different worlds, and I'm like, that's weird.
Well, I think we kind of explained that, though. Is that like he's been putting his life back together, and I think that was what he considered a missing piece.
Yeah. If I had a nitpick, it's that the Wolverine we got doesn't know Wade, and so we don't get a familiarity there that I would have liked to have had, because it's like he didn't know who Deadpool was, he didn't know who Wade was, so he had no pre-existing relationship, and like there was no kind of buddy cop camaraderie where he's like, I know you and I already hate you. We have this back and forth. It's just like, oh, they're meeting each other for the first time for Wolverine.
Now, I'm acknowledging that that's your nitpick, and I'm not trying to change your mind on it, but I felt like it was better written this way because we'd have to basically reference a bunch of back stuff between them to where they are at the point where they have this much animosity towards. Like right now, he doesn't know him, so he doesn't give a shit about him. He's just Wolverine to Deadpool, so he's just annoying to him.
Yeah,
and to the point where he's willing
in the nitpick section.
Yeah.
Because it's like
to where the point
movie operates well the way it is. Yeah. It's just one of those things where it's like I was hoping for some kind of like, damn it, Wade, like that they have a history there, so they have some. But yeah, no, it's just a nitpick. It didn't hinder the film. It's just a nitpick.
Yeah.
I
did.
Pat, looking at say,
pick your nits.
What the hell did you just say?
I think. I didn't have a bunch, obviously. I really enjoyed the movie, but I think at the end, I just felt mid, so to speak. Like, I enjoyed the ride. But I think when I got off, I was kind of like, okay, what did that amount to?
And I think...
Go ahead.
Sorry, just
no, please, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying.
Fair enough. I mean, you're right. And I ate it up. I loved all the cameos. I had lots of laughs. Like the fight scene in the van was, I thought, amazing. The speech that he gives before the fight that leads to it, I was like, man, that's Hugh Jackman at his finest when he's like, basically undercutting Wade's life. Like, hey, this is why you're a fucking loser. Nobody likes you.
No wonder the Avengers didn't take you, or the X-Men. They'll take fucking anyone. I mean, you are a ridiculous, immature, half-wit moron. I have never met a sadder, more attention-starved, jabbering little prick in my entire life, and that says a lot, because I've been alive for more than 200 fucking years.
Like, I felt that, and when he's like, I'm gonna kill you now, I was like, I get that too. Like, I felt all that entire scene. But again, at the end of the movie and all the spoilers stuff, I was just like, okay, like, is this the end of Deadpool? Like, do I want more? I don't even know if I want more. Like,
it was much more a goodbye to Fox than a hello to the MCU.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and I think that a lot of people expected it to be a hello to the MCU. It's like, here's Deadpool now with Spider-Man and with, I shouldn't say Spider-Man, but here he is with Captain America and Winter Soldier and Vision. We don't know. No, and that's kind of where we also are with Marvel too. So that is part of that larger question.
And I think you're right. I think people were expecting that. I don't necessarily know if I wanted to be like, I want more Deadpool, but I felt like the movie kind of ends where they leave a door open for that. And I think, at the end of a trilogy, like, it would have been cool to be like, this is the kind they did with like Logan. Like, this is the end of that story. If we do revisit it, if we ever do, it's going to be 10 years down the road, and we'll have to have a much better story than we just gave you. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to top that. But they kind of just were like, all right, the end. Like, we don't know what's going to, whatever becomes of Wolverine or any of the other characters. I mean, and that's my nitpick. And this is just being, overly critical of the movie, of a great movie. I was just like, I don't, the ending wasn't necessarily as satisfying as like the ride was.
The destination wasn't the journey for this. I'm sorry, wasn't the prize. It was the journey, which is fair. Like in some movies, some stuff, it's like, oh no, we finally got there and it paid off so well. And it's like, but the journey was the meat of this movie, which is it was a fun journey. Yeah,
just like life, it's a journey, not destination. I saw that.
I was saying, just like life, you don't want to get to the end of the journey, really.
Avoid that. Let's not do that. All right, what was everybody's favorite line?
Woo! I'm about to make a name for myself.
I think it's everyone's favorite line.
I think that's
really okay.
Some motherfuckers still want to ice skate uphill. That was my favorite line.
I would have to be my second then, because I'm with Ken like that.
I'm not arguing against it. Just for me,
as as a weird little nerd thing, I have one more little nitpick I forgot about. When Blade says I've always hated you to Deadpool, I wanted him to do the Han Solo I know, and I'm like he just says like I knew that, like no, like that'd be a great little nerd moment of like I know, like just like that could have been a good line. That's a little nitpick.
Or if he just broke the fourth wall, looked at him, and was like, but why?
Yeah.
But
by the way,
said something fourth wall breaking
At that moment.
He said like, and you
Maybe I
always
missed
will, or something. He like it was a reference to Blade Trinity.
And you always, he says you always have, which I didn't fucking like. My brain completely dropped it out until we were walking out to the car. That Ryan Reynolds was in Blade 3. I fucking blew that out of my mind. That like, oh right, he was in, because it's Blade 3. Like you remember when you remember Blade, you remember Blade 1, and maybe 2, and then 3. Like right,
no, I remember,
was a
the reason
one.
why I remember Blade 3 specifically is because I think I mentioned this again. Like, I felt like that was his introduction to action movies, which eventually leads him on to like, being cast in Deadpool. Because I think prior to that, he was like Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza. Like he was the like kind of.
He was comedy.
Yeah,
he's a funny guy. I mean, he was
And
in
then
Waiting. That's a great comedy. That's.
Is it though? Like it is for us in the service industry, or
for in the service industry, exactly.
But yeah, no, it's funny because I think since the movie, they've had these interviews talking about how those two really don't hate each other.
Yeah, and that's all good. On that note too, or I forget what thing we're on. There's also the moment where they're like, oh, and Daredevil died, and then they're like, Elektra's like, that's fine.
It's fine.
Like, hey, I'm all right. We're doing it.
I like that. She was awesome in this. I think she was underrated in this movie in particular. I think she held her on and did a really good job.
I think
much better than the original Elektra run.
I mean, that's not the highest bar, but it was shockingly nice to see these characters get to have at least some sort of closure and wrap up and do something cool.
A farewell, yeah.
But I didn't expect that I would enjoy that so much.
Here's a question. It's not on the list, but I'm going to throw it out there as a tangent.
Nope.
Yeah. Damn it. All right, moving on. If you could replace those three with 3 other characters from the Fox universe, who would you put in there?
Ooh.
That is... so one of them that they... I mean, and not necessarily just Fox, because Blade was New Line, but...
Fair enough.
I mean, if we would have... Because they mentioned it too. If we could have got a Punisher in there, like where'd you get that? Like, oh, from Punisher. Which one? There's like 5. And I mean, if we could have got Thomas Jane Punisher in there, I could have had him in there.
That's right, because we actually lost the other guy, unfortunately.
We lost Ray Stevenson, he was also Volstagg in Thor. So like there's that.
Look, you're back again, brother.
Yeah. But yeah, Frank Castle, that would have been a crazy kind of throw in there if I'm pitching one of them. I mean, I think you would probably say Cyclops, right? Is that your Famke Janssen?
No, I didn't. I mean, fair. I wasn't a fan of Jean Grey. Haven't been a fan of Jean Grey, at least the portrayal so far. I'm reading again. I want the audience to know I read comics back in the day. I am rereading comics as an adult now, and I have a greater appreciation for a lot of these stories. So I'm becoming a fan of Jean Grey. But back when she was in the movies, I could take it or leave it. Take it or leave it with her. So. But yeah, I like James Marsden. I like him as an actor. I thought he was, now that I've become a Cyclops fan, he was underserved in that role. So yeah, I would have brought him back.
Hey, Pat, do you have one?
I've got 3.
Yeah, we need 3. You only get one.
You got 3.
So you think about it, Ken, while he goes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Michael Chiklis Thing.
Ooh.
I want Michael Chiklis in the Thing gear.
That's awesome.
Do you want him looking like he did in that movie, or can we improve on it?
No.
Or
he is in the movie.
We can improve on it, but not too much.
No.
Because my pitch for that is Michael Chiklis still is a thing, but you do the Roger Corman outfit, so at least it and you're like, that's my pitch. Like you still go Michael Chiklis, but you get him for like that Roger Corman kind of big suit thing, not just like
I'm gonna take Darwin from First Class because he got done wrong.
Fantastic.
Didn't even think about that.
Fantastic. That is a win.
I still want a Blade character. Deacon Frost.
Ooh.
Give me Frost. Give me a villain here.
Yeah. You didn't want a sidekick?
Yeah. I'm going to be naughty. I'm going to be a naughty vampire god.
No. Really, I just want Blade to scream Frost one more time. I'll take those three.
Now, see, I'm asking the question as the three that were replaced, not just bringing three that could be on Cassandra's side.
I may change Frost out then, but definitely the first two. I want Chickless Thing and Darwin. Let's get Darwin some love, and too powerful to be done the way it was done.
No, I love those.
I totally forgot about him.
And so you don't bring in like what was Hannibal King's daughter's name? Or not Hannibal King, Whistler's daughter.
Oh, Jessica Biel?
Whistler?
Girl, yeah, I don't know. I guess she was Whistler, wasn't she?
You know, Patton, I think, was it me, you, and Michelle talking? I felt like they should have had Whistler's daughter be the female Deadpool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you said, that was... Gotta get Blake Lively that paycheck, though.
Oh, I would have also had a second Johnny Storm in there with Michael B. Jordan.
That would have been pretty awesome. That would have been so cool.
Like, didn't we just...
Wait,
like
you're Storm?
Yeah.
I'm Storm.
Who's
your daddy?
No, wait, what happened to Johnny? He's right there. No, the other you had two, like something like yeah. Just because I like, and also like he's like, what's Killmonger doing here? Like something like that.
That would have been the confusion. Would have been awesome. Captain America.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Could have done a lot with Quicksilver joke wise.
Yeah. Yes. But he's a bit too much of a powerhouse. Oh, I mean, do we also flip out any of the villains that are over?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Then I want Frost. If we're flipping villains out.
Yeah, we definitely put Frost over there.
I wanted another cameo from like after he beheads was it Nash? Kevin Nash? Was Kevin Nash the Sabretooth? I want Liev Schreiber to be like over in the corner, like, no, I'm good. Like never mind. Like you're good. You do your thing. Like
no, it wasn't that Kevin Nash is the Russian, but he wasn't in the he was
he was in the Punisher.
Again. Yeah, but he didn't reprise.
But he didn't reprise his roles as the Russian. Who was the original?
I forget his name. He's another wrestler.
Yeah, he is another wrestler, and that's why my brain is like trying to get. Wait, so who was it that was in Blade 3 that was the bad guy?
That's Triple H.
There you go.
That's Triple H. Okay.
As, Pomeranian man.
Yep. Well, no, it was Parker Posey's Pomeranian, but yes, yeah.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah, if I've got two so far, so I've got my second Johnny Storm would have been fun in there, and
that would have been awesome to just have two Johnny Storms and then just playing off of the Captain America versus Killmonger versus Johnny Storm.
Yeah. The Deadpools they could have done something a little bit more with, she just laid them all to waste pretty quickly. It seemed like, and
they all got back up.
That was really enjoyable. That badass scene, and they're all just like, these ones,
especially because it's shot like a oneer, so it's like, I mean, I'm sure there's cuts in there. They just pan through them, but that's a really good like fight scene there.
Well, I loved it putting on the mask. That was pretty cool.
It's also one of the things too is like when they do we're still on like what ifs right now, I guess. I'm trying to think if I have a third. Kareem, did you have a couple what ifs?
Well, I mean, your Johnny Storm was a really good one, and kind of in my head erased everything else. But I was trying to think of if who else I would. I mean, I would bring back the original Reed Richards. I think he.
Oh,
I think he did a really good job. Yeah, I think he's still a pretty good actor in his right.
There's like in my head too. At one point, I did think about like doing the Fantastic Four, and like. You do the thing of like you get Johnny, you get the Thing, and you get Reed, and they're like, oh, and then there's Sue, she's right over there, and they're like, what do you mean? Right, she's right there. You can't even pay to have her. You can't even pay Jessica Alba to come back. What are you talking? What? Like he breaks the wall.
That would have been perfect for Deadpool to be like, guys, this is where we lost some of the budget.
Yeah.
I would have really enjoyed Fart Galactus.
Cloud Galactus
versus Fart Galactus. Elias, that could have been like that could
versus
have been
versus Cloud Hulk dad.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, those three had what is it, Goliath or whatever the thing's called? The three
Goliath,
monsters.
Yep.
I mean, if we're bringing in Hulk, then I want the poodles.
Ooh, just the poodles, not Hulk.
No, just the poodles.
I mean, this is going over back to maybe a big surprise. I love that we got that. I mean, now he names it. He's like, it's a John Byrne Wolverine, where the brown and the orange and brown, and he pops the claws, and you get that Hulk face in the thing.
That was pretty cool, and that actually had me laughing because of our conversation with Kurosh. Like, he wanted that.
He wanted that. Yeah, he wanted that. He got it. There was no Wendigo in that scene, but it was still like that was a good moment. We didn't touch on Cavalrine. Like,
we did not.
That was pretty dope.
That was one of the ones where it's like, it wasn't spoiled for me, but I had heard enough of the rumor mill that I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Well, that's why I thought we were gonna get what's his name as the short
Daniel Radcliffe. Yeah, same thing.
Because that was also another fan propelled one. Like, oh, we want this guy to play him. But he did it. I think he did an awesome job. I think Ryan Reynolds and whoever did the casting for the cameos earned their paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was good stuff. Really enjoyed that.
Very much so.
I was hoping it'd be kind of cool to like have the X-Men somehow comment on Colossus running the mansion by himself. If they ever came back, I was like, Colossus, you look different.
Yeah. they stayed away from most of the X-Men cast aside from him. Like, they just, like, even in the cameos, like, we didn't see, to your point, we didn't see Professor X.
Is Vinny Jones, did something happen to Vinny Jones?
That's one thing that I did see an interview for or something. He declined because he didn't want to get in the suit again. He didn't want to try and get in shape. And so they ended up using the actor from, if you saw Guy, or like, what's it? The guy in the movie where Ryan Reynolds is a video game character in a blue shirt. Is it Guy?
Free Guy.
Free Guy. The guy who plays the bulked up version of him in the end, and aside from the face, that's that same actor who played Juggernaut.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, that's cool.
They should have brought the other Juggernaut from Deadpool 2 in there too.
Oh, right. But he's just like a mostly CG monster.
Still would have been kind of cool to have him.
Fair enough.
I get it, but it doesn't really like.
Yeah, it doesn't add anything.
You don't need other Deadpool characters from pre. You need.
You want Deadpool character. Okay, here's a nitpick. I wanted more Domino. That's just my nitpick.
Oh,
I love Deadpool
right.
Domino.
I
love their
Domino as a
banter.
character.
She was great.
I loved her design. The way they played off each other, and like you just kept telling her like Luck's not a mutant power, and she keeps explaining to him that it is. I love that. She disappeared.
Yeah, I think it's just
kept the rest of X-Force.
No, I mean they did and they didn't. I mean they kept Peter and they kept Shatterstar. Well, no, but if he went back in time and saved them all, then they're all alive, right?
His X-Force from Deadpool 2.
That's what I'm saying, though. He went back in time and saved them all, technically speaking.
Yeah, remember he goes back in time to stop. Don't jump! Like, Peter, walk away!
Oh, because I feel like Peter's the only one that he brought back.
No, Shatterstar too.
Yeah,
because he's in the scene with them. He's at the party, at the birthday party. They have
evidently he saved them.
Okay.
So
yeah, which also, I mean, you could also by that same logic say that Vanisher's there, played by Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
I guess you could.
So. No, but Louis Tan, who plays Shatterstar, is in that birthday scene, and he does get to come back, which I was really happy about because I love Louis Tan. So,
but I felt like we had more of Domino, and she's nowhere to be found.
I mean, probably because the cast is already so big, and she's like, "Oh, so you're gonna pay me to do a day or two in this big group shot, and that's about it." And then I'm in the photo that he shows.
She might have just been like, "I'm good."
Yeah,
think about this.
I'm not saying it's anybody's fault. That was just my nitpick. Like, I thought she was awesome in Deadpool 2, and of the people that he brought back in this universe, like I felt like she had more on screen time than even Peter did. He's a funny character.
What about Vanessa? Vanessa didn't get shit to do again, and
I mean, she was at least still brought back though. Like she technically died in the second. Like, there's no reason to bring her back in the third one.
But she brought back. She was brought back in the second one. Like Vanessa, as some people may know in the online, is that she has powers in the comics. She's a character in the comics, so she's just been sidelined for every film to a certain degree. Like, and like that same actress has come back, has been sidelined for 3 movies. Domino got more to do in X-Men or Deadpool 2, then Vanessa has had a chance to do in all 3 movies to a certain degree.
Well, no, I agree, but at least she's been in all 3 movies. I mean, she's the fridge in all instances. Yeah. Like she's the catapult to, or the catalyst to all of his actions in every Deadpool movie. I get that, but I'm like, and again, I guess at this point you could have have an argument for Cable as well because he should be around.
I would have like if they both like Deadpool gets pulled out into the hallway and like Cable comes with him. He's like, no, I'm not part of this shit, and just teleports away.
Just even the like the cameo of the X-Men First Class in the original Deadpool with his like James McAvoy just kind of closed the door. Like he could have done that with Cable. Like, oh nope, not dealing with Cable and Domino just like hanging out in a room across the way. They're walking up like, nope.
After the TVA goes through, they show up late to the party. Like, you sure this is the place? Yeah, go on in.
Or you could do, if you were just trying to do for gags and cameos, you can do the tired Thanos and just have Ryan Reynolds say, like, you look familiar.
Yeah,
like Thanos at the end of Infinity War.
Just sad, tired Thanos. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not going to participate in any Cassandra Nova shit. I'm just going to sit here and make my soup.
I love me some soup.
Or whatever he was making.
Didn't realize we had to go back to Graduation 1999 at the end of the movie and use Good Riddance as the.
I mean, it hit right. It hit right.
Yeah, it did what it did.
Not as good as Madonna's song though. Like he's found a way to find these because he did that with Celine Dion in Deadpool too.
Mm-hmm.
True. He takes these ballads and makes them staples of the action sequences. Which I thought was again pretty fucking awesome. I didn't think when you hear the song playing devoid of the context, you're like, there's no way this is going to make any kind of relevant impact. And then you see the scenes, you're like, oh, that actually works. So, yeah, whoever the music supervisor is, kudos to you for that as well.
They know their target audience.
Well, it was basically like it was a commercial for abs with Madonna playing in the background for that entire scene.
Oh yeah, and especially like when he fries and stuff. It's so good. That's good.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like Hugh Jackman earned it. Like if you're gonna get that body, you leave it on screen for 7.5 slow minutes.
I did want to point out. It reminded me to talk about the end of the film. One of my favorite scenes, just random little one, is when Nice Pool, or is it Kind Pool or Nice Pool? I can't remember.
Nice Pool. Was it Kind Pool?
Okay.
Nice Pool. When he says, "Oh, I can lightly tap on the fourth wall too." The proposal that I laughed so loud. That was so good. Just so dumb. So dumb.
That was pretty funny. I love he's the only one that didn't have healing abilities.
Yeah.
Perfect.
No, they did. Again, I enjoyed the movie, enjoyed the ride. Ending was a bit of a letdown for me personally. But again, maybe I just had too high expectations, I guess, coming out of that. Like, all right, what's next? Because I was so hyped on the journey itself. But good movie. And I'm trying to think of things that I might have missed in that. What were I know one of the spoiler scenes was the Fantastic Four thing, right? And wasn't there another one? The Johnny Storm, like, I'm going to clear this up thing.
Oh,
the Stinger.
Yeah, I think the main Stinger was just that. I think because otherwise it was just
yeah.
Okay. No, it was just that because they just did the Time of Our Lives goodbye scenes.
That was
from all the other stuff. That was where they're like, and it's funny too. Like I've seen other people compare it to like, oh, when we do those signature fade outs on at the end of Endgame, where they're like, oh, this is like, I'm like, I kind of enjoyed the Deadpool goodbye better. I think it feels more, not genuine, but it feels less. I don't know.
Forced. Feels less forced.
Yeah, it feels less forced.
You're using footage from the movie. It's like, no, I thought that was very well done.
Yeah. Well, and it was also, I guess you could say, less planned, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Because it feels like, again, for all of the stuff that we praise the MCU for, it is, for a majority of it, cosmetic. Like they plan a lot of this stuff. And so when you have that like ending, it's like, all right, well, they shot that footage to then use later in this thing. And you can kind of feel that versus like the old original, Hugh Jackman in his, first Logan outfit. I'm like, I don't think he ever expected to go beyond that. Like, you obviously can tell by the way, his body looked. Like they didn't expect him to be like, oh, you're going to carry this movie and become this version of him. Like you're just some guy off the street that looks vaguely like Wolverine in hair. and they're just having a good time. And I think he even interviews saying about how nervous he was to like do the accent, to do the to do the scenes or whatever, because he was like, I'm a theater guy, like there's no way I'm going to play this comic book character that I know very little about. And so when you see those scenes and you see those people kind of having fun in that, and you're like, these people didn't expect for that to go beyond that. And I think because you see the stuff that when they were shooting for the was it Fantastic Four, like all those old scenes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did they have any from the what you call it, the Miles Teller one? I don't remember seeing stuff. They did.
They didn't.
No, they had.
Or was it just Michael?
Oh, right. Yes.
Michael B. Jordan?
It's Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
Yeah. They showed like a couple scenes. Yeah.
Because I remember seeing Miles Teller in any of that.
No, not at all. Yeah.
We don't.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, it was very entertaining. It was well done. It is not. I will say it was not what I was told it would be by fans, which was the bridge to get the X-Men to the MCU.
It kind of is, to be honest with you. Like we've had more X-Men talk in the Deadpool movie than we had all of any other MCU movie.
But they're not in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, but when I think MCU, I think of like putting them, and maybe I'm just thinking of it wrong because I'm thinking of them in the Prime comic universe, and maybe I'm just not thinking of it correctly. Like, yeah, they are technically now in the MCU, and that Deadpool's part of the MCU, and all of that's been brought over. But I'm thinking of them in the Prime universe interacting with like Doctor Strange and
yeah. Which is, I mean, it's into that regard.
But how often do the X-Men interact with Doctor Strange to begin with, though, other than Xavier?
I just in general.
Okay.
Yeah, it's. I think that almost Doctor Strange with that Professor X was a little bit more of a toe in the water of anything. Like at least that was more closer together.
Well, that was the Fox X-Men. Like that was Xavier.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying that like we still haven't. There's been the only mention of mutants we had in the MCU was Kamala Khan, and like it's
Namor.
we're still a while out
Namor.
From that. What's up?
Namor.
Yes, Namor. But did they even confirm that he was a mutant, or did they say mutation? Yeah,
I don't think it's the word mutation.
Okay, but like even that wasn't like full on X-Men. Let's go. I mean, we even had the after credit scene of Marvels, which I mean, spoilers for that if anyone. But we got Hank McCoy Beast. Yeah, we got full on Beast. True. And like that was like I was really happy with that at the time. I'm like,
I was pretty happy with that too. Yeah,
like as much as Kelsey Grammer has questionable, personal politics, his voice.
I don't think that was him though.
Was it? And just a great singer. Just a great singer.
It wasn't his. Like he wasn't there. It's his.
But that
voice,
was his
though.
voice.
Yeah, his voice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe because I didn't see him, I didn't.
Yeah.
Put his voice to it.
And it wasn't him in the makeup either. It was.
That's what I'm saying. That's what. So I think my disconnect was happened there. Like it might have been his voice, but I'm like that doesn't look like him, so I didn't recognize it as him. Because I'm like they're not going to use him going forward anyway. So why would you?
No. Well, because remember Monica Rambeau was in an alternate universe there.
Yeah.
So she's with her mom or a version of her mother.
Well, who we think is her mom. It could have been Mystique or Morph.
That's true. Good kid, yeah. Very true.
And it probably is. What's Mystique's favorite pastime? Yeah, fuck with this person over here.
Impersonate people's mothers.
Yeah. Hey, I'm your mom now. Ah, psych!
Yeah. Gotcha, bitch.
She always plays the long game, too.
She does.
Like, because I was listening to a podcast. I always reference it on here for anybody who's listening. It's We Hate Movies. Not We Hate Movies. Yeah, We Hate Movies. Yeah. Where they, these guys talk about movies or whatever. And they were talking about the X-Men movie. And they came up with the question. I didn't even think about this when I was watching the X-Men movie, but what does Mystique do now as the Senator? Like, because there's no way for her to like sneak off and be Mystique anymore. Like, she's full on. Is Senator Kelly, right? Is it who she's mimicking?
Yeah.
At the end of
like, does she just now become a politician?
I think she did just she was a politician for like a day or two, and then
you can't. You can't be though for a day because like
yeah, you can.
You can't go missing.
Yeah, you can.
She did just that.
You can go missing. Like they'll never see him again. Oh, she.
But I'm saying, who does it? Like, when does he leave the public eye to be like, oh, he just disappeared? Like, nobody
in the bathroom, and then you walk out as a different person. Like, that's like he doesn't have they don't have Secret Service detail with him at all times. They're not the president. Like, and they can go to the bathroom and just be.
You were also assuming Mystique gave any fucks about what happens after she was like, nah, I'm done. Like, this is not the Jennifer Lawrence Mystique. This is the Rebecca Romijn Mystique. Like, yeah, I don't care.
Well, no, I feel like Rebecca Romijn. First off, Jennifer Lawrence Mystique sucked. I'm putting it out there.
Wow.
All the
shots fired at
all the J-Law fans. You can come at me. She was horrible. But I also felt like the Rebecca Romijn, at least, again, I felt like she, at least in her head, understood the long game. Like, she was going to do this because it would benefit Magneto in all kinds of ways as a senator. Her as Mystique, she can like kill people, but I'm like, her as a senator can do way more for Magneto.
Except she doesn't like gain his memories. Like, she probably was able to do it for a minute and then like, oh, I gotta go. They're asking real questions. Side note, my wife is calling. Oops.
Okay, fair enough. The idea of like him walking on stage and just disappearing as a public figure seems like it would have been a little bit harder.
Oh, I'm sure that there was like a whole bunch of like, where's Senator Kelly? He's gone missing.
Yeah, what happens at that point? Like, because now you have to have a special election, and did anything that he say or write actually stand at that point? Does vote still count?
Think you are.
Well, as far as they know, he's just missing. They don't know. Yeah. They don't know that he turned into a puddle of water at the bottom of the expansion. So
no, I'm saying, but no matter what he does or becomes, at some point he's going to be declared dead enough to where like whatever he said in that speech doesn't matter anymore. Like, it's
I mean, that's
in order for it to stick, he has to be alive.
No.
Yeah.
People. We're still referencing speeches that are made by people who are now dead. So that doesn't alter. Yeah.
But you have to die. Like, again, imagine if, we'll say, Chuck Schumer just disappeared.
He can also disappear. She could have also impersonated his death and been like, "Oh no, I'm falling off this waterfall!" Whoa! Like, she's fairly intelligent. She's done a lot of subterfuge. Yeah. Thank you for the word. Subterfuge, and so she's fine with that. Like, you know her shit.
I was just the question they posed of her just becoming a full-time politician at this point was funny to me, because as watching it, I'm like, oh, that's a cool scene that like she's pretending to be him, and they do like the little eye thing, and then she like walks away. But I'm like, but she still has to.
As of the second movie, though, she's already in the second movie. She's already back to just doing shit. Like,
I know.
Mystique.
Like, well, I don't know if that's like her side gig though. If like she does just go back to being a senator after she's done fucking around with Magneto. Like, all right,
and they're like, free this Saturday. Last month and a half. When looks like you were traveling around the world, and there. By the way, while you were gone, there was an attack on the president by a mutant. Do you have anything to say about that? Nah.
Nope.
Nah. No. I'm gonna go back to my room now.
She could have been like, mutants have a right to defend themselves.
For presidents who are sitting quietly in the
Look, all I know is that this president stole the election from the mutants, and they had to attack.
Exactly.
Like patriots.
Perfect.
See?
You have no notes.
Squeeze 6 more movies out of that franchise.
Just the Mystique, the Mystique files?
Political intrigue alone. All right.
You know what they should have brought back is Stryker, because he's complaining now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure he would have loved coming back for another comic movie.
I'm just saying, like, he's sitting there. I mean, you have to pull yourself away from being a big fan of the Marvel stuff. He's got an argument about how studios are chasing the Marvel action like genre. That's his argument, and I can see the validation for that. But he's also sounds like an old man, like, these damn comic movies.
Hey,
they don't take real good actors, and people are like, hey, you were in a comic book movie, jackass.
You know, if like The Departed made $700 million, remember when it did well, and then like there were 7 other Irish gangster movies? It's just like whatever does well.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We're in this spiral of comic book movies because we want as much IP as possible. But the moment something else comes out, like, this romantic comedy, gangbusters. Well, better make 75 of them right now.
Well, that's to the closing of this argument. Do you think Deadpool saved Marvel? Has it put it back on track?
Yeah, in terms not in terms of the Marvel universe, but in terms of the Marvel brand as a name.
Yeah.
Yes, it helped. It's going to keep them afloat for a little while longer. And I think to the point I was
gonna say, do people, because the way Marvel handled Deadpool, is there that disassociation between Marvel and Deadpool? Like, that's the Deadpool thing. It's not the MCU thing.
That's a bit more of a independent thing, because like you still have parents who took their kids to Wolverine and Deadpool, even though it's a rated R movie, or Deadpool and Wolverine. Like I heard a story where a woman was upset that she took her kids to it. She's like, I took them to a Marvel movie and they saw that. I'm like, that's on you. It's rated R. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like
they didn't hide the rated R part. They really played it up.
Yeah. So like that's on you. You're a bad parent. But people can't, like those type of people can't hear that, just like they can't hear that vaccines don't put microchips in them. Like they're just
it's less about hearing and more about not taking responsibility. I can't control my life. You control it. And when it goes bad, it's your fault. When it goes well, I'm glad I did it.
You know, guys, you're 100% right. And that's why we have to get rid of all these DEI initiatives. Is that where you were going with this?
That's exactly
Is that where we were going?
I'm glad you caught the alley-oop, Pat.
All right.
There you go.
That racist alley-oop.
You guys are getting into real self-determination there. I still have to double check real quick, see if we were going with logical or if we were going to jump some places.
Jump to conclusions.
Okay.
All right. It was a jump to conclusions, Matt.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure.
No, I don't. To my point of like where it kind of leaves off, and it left me kind of wanting. That's I think part of this overall conversation. I don't think it helps.
Yeah,
Marvel. It was great. It adds money to the coffers. Like it did what it needed to do as far as money's concerned. As far as riding the ship, but on the back of Robert Downey Jr. coming back, I'm like, you guys still know what you're doing.
I think to Ken's point, what it does do is puts a better taste in everybody's mouth for the MCU, which is a terrible way to phrase that, and I apologize. Phrasing.
No, perfect.
What the hell did you just say?
No notes.
It puts everybody in a
open
better
your mouth.
mindset.
Take some of this MCU.
Yeah, just a spoonful.
You like how that tastes?
Yeah. It's
then you just hold up the Wolverine popcorn bucket.
And open your mouth, just like he is.
Tells his mouth.
Shovel it. It puts everyone in a better frame of mind with the MCU, since this is canonically, this is part of the MCU. Okay, great. It gives them a win, a needed win. It brings in, it's a mega hit, and it lets them change the spin back to a positive one. And they don't have anything like terrible coming up on the horizon that looks like a clunker right now. They've got the Agatha show coming up. That looks good. And I guess the next movie is Captain America, right?
Yeah. Followed by Thunderbolts, I believe.
Captain America's not to what, next February?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is good. I think having part of the issue became we're churning out a lot all the time.
Yeah.
Leave people a little wanting. Let them miss you.
But I also feel like Captain America's coming off of a bad TV show. I don't think it was received very well. So the letting them wanting more is kind of like, I do think take it or leave it.
But I do think we're far enough removed from the TV show, and I think as we ramp up towards the movie, just the initial trailer, there was a lot of cool looking stuff in there.
Yeah,
like a lot of like cool shots, cool action sequences. It felt like it felt more like anything. It felt much more like the Winter Soldier than any of the other Captain America movies, which is like, okay, that if you're going to do it, capturing that vibe, bringing in a Hulk, like, okay.
Yeah.
All in all, I mean, not that I'm trying to like speak to the value of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like I rewatched it, and I think yes, the story has clunky moments, and there's definitely problems with the plotting and just kind of the rewrites that happened during the movie or during the series, and we talked about it. But overall, like the character moments we had for for Bucky, for Falcon, for Baron Zemo, like those all had good, like we had good moments along that ride, and seeing who John Walker was, and I look back at the show as more of a positive, but I do note like it had its issues, especially with like kind of where the plot and what the main story was. But as far as the performances, I think they all did really well. Like I think that made me more engaged with this version of Sam Wilson and Bucky, and with those characters than maybe the I don't know. I think they outshined those performances outshined the material of like, oh, it's about the people who came back and the World Council thing, and like that. Some of that shit, I'm just like, I don't care about it because it was just kind of clunky design and kind of like, well, we have to have them have these reasons and we have to change storylines because of a vaccine and things like that. So
I think
when I look back at that, go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
I was just say, just looking back, I do see most of those characters in a positive light as far as like, oh, well, I guess we'll get to see more of U.S. Agent in Thunderbolts, and we'll get to see them again and how they play moving forward.
I think the biggest drawback to the new Captain America movie is that it doesn't look like Bucky's going to be in it. I really, really enjoy Sam and Bucky and that kind of buddy cop relationship they have.
Well, and I think that's to our point of what I mentioned at the very top of this pod is that they haven't earned Sam Wilson being by himself. Like he played to Captain America as Bucky played to him. Like who is he without either one of those characters?
I mean,
we're going to find out.
Yeah.
He will have his own Falcon to back him up because we've seen in the trailer that there's the Falcon who we met in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's his like his partner who helped fix Red Wing and the wings and stuff. So we'll see that a little bit, and to what degree he plays a bigger part in, who knows? Yeah. I think my bigger problem there is that I'm actually really curious about where the Isaiah, because that's one thing too that I didn't even mention. I love the Isaiah Bradley story in Winter Soldier and Falcon and Winter Soldier. I loved it in the comics, and I'm curious to see what they do with it here, because that is definitely going to be at least one key point. There's going to be something that happens with Isaiah. So I'm like, what is that going to be? Like, I hope they don't like tarnish that character and what he's supposed to do.
Oh, you know they're going to
in the universe.
They're going to try.
I mean, I know that. I feel like they're going to, and I really don't want them to. But hopefully, there's a turn for that character at one, or an explanation for why it happens that helps me to engage with that character again.
If I had to wager, it's that fucking Ross screwed him over.
Oh
during the serum trial stuff.
I think it's more. I think.
Like either he okayed the program. No, I'm going to say I think Ross either okayed the experiments on him, didn't, or they were serving together, and when he asked for help, he did nothing. I feel like it's very personal between the two of them.
Ross is too young to be that, though.
Maybe.
No, wait, no, I'm doing my timer. When did
are we talking about 80-year-old presidents that are way too fucking old to be president?
That's why I'm running. And you want to check my shape on? Let's do push-ups together, man. Let's run. Let's do whatever you want to do.
And Red Hulks. That's
yeah. But was Isaiah Bradley World War II or was he post-war?
Post World War II.
Post-war. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No. It could be.
Yeah. It's a little bit fuzzy there because I mean, even at that point, like if it's like the 50s,
because they gave him the serum because they lost Captain America and they needed somebody else.
Yeah, they tried again, and they tried with some of the failed things that followed up. It's not the original true story where he predated Captain America.
Correct. At least that's not the one that they explained in Winter Soldier.
Yeah, it's the Winter Soldier versions. Yeah. So, I mean, it could be something like that. I was curious because he is also experimented on by Hydra. So do we see? I mean, it is kind of a repeat of the Bucky stuff, but is that just still there? And that he was never put in a place to be activated. And because after, I mean, he was never really released and put out into. He was never praised for his job, so he never got to get in a position to take out like a Manchurian candidate kind of thing. So
I mean, I'm hoping they don't tread that water again because you already have Bucky, who is still technically under that. Right? I guess he was cured by the Wakanda stuff, right?
Bucky was cured by the Wakanda stuff. Yes.
Okay. Either way, we already
Because
had that kind of sleeper cell thing, at least in that regard.
Yeah.
I'd rather just be like, hey, you fucked me over, and I have a chance to get at you.
That or he saw like there's because we do know that Samuel Stearns is in this movie as well, and I don't know if people know who that is. He
Go
was
ahead and
in
explain.
the Incredible Hulk. He was the scientist who helped the what was that version of
growing brain?
Big
Leader,
Grody head?
right?
He's the leader. Yeah, he plays the leader. But he helped that version of the Hulk at one point to regain his powers. So who's to say that he doesn't? That maybe he sees Samuel Stearns as someone who experimented on at one point, and he makes a move for Samuel Stearns, and that's what kicks some of that off. Because Samuel Stearns also is the one who activates the Red Hulk, or in the comics, leaders of someone who. So it's like maybe he's like, you're still employing the motherfucker who experimented on me. We're done. Like,
Hell no.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that part has me intrigued, but again, I'm waiting to see who Captain Falcon or this new Captain America is without the buddy system, which has been kind of his propeller throughout his MCU.
No, that's
run.
fair. Yeah, because he was partnered with Cap, and then he's partnered with Bucky and Cap at one point. And that was a lot of fun in Civil War. And so, what and then now in the miniseries, what did that play out to? So yeah, that's fair.
We'll see if he can do it. We'll see if he can hold his own here.
He's a good actor. I loved him in if you guys, I don't know if you two had a chance to go watch Heavy Metal. The guy he's very likable.
You mean Twisted Metal?
Twisted Metal, sorry, yes.
That's okay.
Such a good show.
I haven't yet. I want to see that.
I think you'll love it. It's funny.
It's the milkman. It must be our delivery.
Yeah, they know me. I'm here all the time.
Hey, Doug.
Hey, John. He's new.
A virgin? Oh, I got a big package for you.
I don't watch things that are scary or violent when the wife is home, so it's like that's few and far between.
It is like Fallout, but a funnier version.
I mean, Fallout was too much for Ebby too, so.
Okay, fair enough.
Also, Fallout had a lot of funny. Come on.
It did. I'm saying, imagine that cranked up by like five more notches. Like post-apocalyptic. It has some of the like, not as much of the gory stuff as Fallout did, but a lot more of the humor because Anthony Mack he's running his mouth the entire time. It's pretty funny.
Okay.
And what's your name? Beatrice, whatever. Like they do a good pairing. All right. Well, the MCU is still got a lifeline.
Next, let's see how Agatha does. Next up,
I don't think Agatha's a TV show. I feel like it's on a different wavelength now already. I mean, my argument was more along the lines of like the movies, because we've had the Marvels, which again I think was an awesome movie. Love watching that movie. It was panned by critics or whatever. Before that was what was the movie before that also didn't do very well? Ant-Man, wasn't it?
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man that's.
And before Ant-Man was
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Jeez.
So they had a run of not the best. So hey, they'll take a win when you get a win. This is a win.
Definitely a win. And that's what I'm saying. I think Agatha is a TV show, which is kind of along the lines of like going to revive stuff after Moon Knight, She-Hulk.
From what I saw on the internet today, it's going to bring back Scarlet Witch so she can say no more heroes.
We had fucking Multiverse of Madness. That was in there between Thor: Love and Thunder and Ant-Man.
Was that between? I thought that was before those.
No, I don't think so.
Those.
Yeah, I thought Thor: Love and Thunder I think Multiverse of Madness and Spider-Man came out before all of those.
Before Love. Well, then, because when did Guardians come out? Because those two were around.
Oh, fuck! And then there's Guardians too, which was fine.
That was good. Everyone loved that one. But then we had two stinkers after that.
I'm looking at Rotten Tomatoes. Not that it's the end all be all, but audience on Marvel 82%. That's
bit.
better than I mean, I know they were like negatively bombed before. It's up, yeah. And
For
then
which one?
The tomato meter is 62% for
Marvels.
the Marvels. It's just saying that it was panned. Like, I think that it got a lot of bad press just from people bombing it.
Yeah.
And then that kind of definitely fizzled it quite a bit. I think it's an enjoyable
I felt like once it hit streaming, though, people were like, "This is amazing."
It does seem like one of those, and that's especially like review bombing had already happened previously, but that was one of the ones where it was you really saw the effect. People seem more adjusted to it now. Like, yeah, okay, cool, guys, whatever.
I was just mentioning in our chat, it was today or yesterday, that I've been rewatching it with the girls, and I realized that it's a pretty good allegory if they ever wanted to have a roadmap on how to do the Phoenix Saga, at least Dark Phoenix.
Okay.
I'm like, if you don't want it to be the same tired emo edgy like I'm a sad Gene, but you still want to do a redemption story for genocide. They did it in that one. I'm like, you redeemed Captain Marvel even though she basically killed off an entire planet.
Or you just make her really sad and edgy. You go to Hot Topic, buy some goth stuff, and then like she goes evil, and like suddenly she's in black leather, and like, oh, look how evil she is now. Oh,
fair enough. I was just because I was watching that and getting more familiar with Gene. I was like, hey, they just do
that. Yeah. Oh, sad broccoli people.
Would be
Go
awesome.
watch Deadpool again.
Yes. Give Ryan Reynolds all the money.
That is something that I will be buying a copy of to watch.
Watch it, and then go online and petition for a Gambit movie. Everybody, Gambit movie.
That might be the takeaway. And also too. That's another thing too. Is hearing all the stuff that he was trying to push for. Like, no, I just wanted to do a heist film with mutants. Like, it didn't have to be. I'm like. There was a fair amount of good ideas there, but just Fox constantly being like, what are we going to do? We don't know. We've got this Ivanhoe's looking apocalypse to sell people, so I don't know what happened.
Yeah, a little less apocalypse, a little less Uzi apocalypse, and a lot more Gambit heist movie. Would have been awesome.
Yeah. But they were tied to the whims of a madman. I don't know.
Some motherfuckers always got to ice skate uphill.
I mean, even at this point, because I was watching Jennifer Garner's like workout routine to get in shape for Elektra. I'm like, give her a movie. Give her.
She had a movie.
No, give her the Daredevil movie.
Oh,
Capital One presents Elektra.
Yes.
She's like, "Come on, what's in your wallet?"
Perfect. No notes.
Her size are made of old cards that they cut up.
I mean, if you're not gonna let what's the name play Daredevil in a movie, let her play it.
Ben or
no? What's the guy from the street level Daredevil?
Charlie Cox.
Yeah, they're pushing that Born Again's going to be coming out. They're still in
that's a
production
TV show. I'm like, if you're not gonna I'm saying you can have her as Daredevil, just like they did Wolverine. X-23 as Wolverine. Like she can be the Daredevil for the MCU movie.
Yeah,
you can give her the mask and everything, the new costume.
I mean, yeah, she's in the comics. She's Daredevil again. So yeah,
I don't think so. But well, at least Channing Tatum does want to do Gambit.
Yeah, he does, and I'm on board. Let's do this.
I'm in.
He was probably the like the number one draft pick for that out of like everything. Yeah. Everyone who comes out at the end, like, no, we want more Gambit.
Yeah,
like, that's the takeaway. It was happy to see Blade. I was like, yeah, but Gambit was the biggest kind of like, what?
That was pretty. I'm still pitching for a Rogue versus Captain Marvel though.
You've never stepped down from that soapbox. That's where you live.
Used to happen.
Free.
If you want to get rid of Captain Marvel, there's a real easy way to do it.
Perfect. Pat sees where I'm going with this.
I'm gonna suck the box office poison out of you.
What the hell did you just say?
Oh, damn.
It's not her fault. Brie Larson seems like she's done a really good job. Not her fault.
She'd do even better job in a coma.
I mean, the funny
Brie
thing
Larson,
is,
you do great. You're doing great with Captain Marvel.
Looking back to the Marvels too, like I'm thinking like I remember seeing Nick Fury, and I love Sam Jackson, but he is 80 now. How old is he?
70.
Like he's
something?
70 something, and he's very much like, oh, I'm gonna do this fight in this pod sitting down for most of it, and then he's in that chair.
He said since he took on the role as Nick Fury, he doesn't want to run or do any action scenes, really,
which is fine. But like
that was back when he could do them.
It's just funny that people are like, oh yeah, Brie Larson's doing she's getting up and doing stuff. I mean, Sam's just kind of sitting back, which is again more power to him. But like, let's also call a spade a spade. Like, dude's just like, I'm not filming this one.
Before we end, one last tangent. If you could recast Nick Fury, who would you bring in?
David Hasselhoff.
That's another that could have been
not for a cameo. I'm talking.
That's my number 3 for X-Men. Like, no, actually, no, I think David Hasselhoff is canceled now, so maybe not David Hasselhoff.
But like something, I think he was canceled back during Baywatch, but the Americans just loved him.
Wasn't he? No, but he was also in the Guardians 3, right? Or Guardians 2? He was in one of the Guardians movies.
Okay.
Yeah, he appears in Guardians 2.
Everyone appears in Guardians 2.
Remember, Kurt Russell, Ego.
You got
works
fucking
into
Sylvester Stallone in there.
Yeah.
You got in there.
Here's this the Guardians Galaxy.
It's sad that you can understand Groot better than you can understand Sylvester Stallone.
Damn.
Sad, but expected.
So, all right, Nick Fury, give it to me.
I don't know if I have one off the top of my head because he's just been encapsulated by him so well ever since the Ultimates issue 1. Like it's been Samuel L. Jackson.
But I mean,
Kareem Anderson. I cast Kareem Anderson. That's who I cast.
I mean, excellent choice.
Let's get you the paycheck. I'm on board for this. That's my new campaign. Oh heavens.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Timothy Chalamet.
I got the same writer though. I don't want to do the action sequences. Timothy.
Put him in anything. It's fine.
You'll sell tickets to demographic.
Is he bringing over the Dune eyes?
You damn right he is. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a tough one. We'll have to think about that. We'll have to do a recasting episode for everybody later.
All right. We will. We will recast the entire MCU. All of Timothy Chalamet.
And Tom Holland.
No.
Okay.
Just Timothy Chalamet.
No Jared Leto?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay.
No, I'm not a monster.
What? Oh, that was I saw something about Trent Reznor is going to be in the next not Trent Reznor. Sorry, I'm mixing up. I was
like, wait a second.
No, go on, Trent Reznor.
No, fucking. Oh God, why can't I think of his name? I was trying to say Brad Renfro, but you just said his damn name, and he's Morbius.
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto. God, why did the weird
Trent Reznor was a real stretch there.
But Jared Leto is in the next Tron or associated with it, and I'm like, why? Why are we still giving him chances? Like,
how does Kevin Costner keep getting work?
Because Morbius wasn't his fault.
Because Casey Affleck was busy.
Oh God! I mean, I just saw Twisters. We still have ever growing new generic white men like we had in the 2000s.
How dare you, sir? How dare you?
Like,
I find Glenn Powell at least more likable than like the Sam Worthington cast of like
Sam Worthington and what was the other guy's name?
Oh,
he was of the Worthington. No, but it was the
Luke Evans.
No,
Luke
the guy
Evans.
from I guess Luke Evans, Sam Worthington, and the guy from the
Jai Courtney.
There we go.
Jai Courtney. That was Glenn Powell feels right in that same vein though, at least from watching the Twisters.
Well, he's the new generation.
Yeah, exactly.
Jai Courtney sitting somewhere going, Suicide Squad, anybody? Suicide Squad? Squad?
Ken, I don't know why you hate America so much. You're going to talk shit on Twisters.
I mean,
I don't understand what's happening here.
The problem is Twisters is no Twister. That's the biggest problem.
It sounds like you're in it for the money and not the science, is what I'm hearing.
He's in it for the money, not the science.
Is Twisters part of the DCU? Just because there was one in Superman.
I don't know if Weather Wizard appeared in. Maybe that's a crossover. His Weather Wizard's origin is in Twisters,
and he killed Pa Kent.
He killed Pa Kent. Yeah.
Ooh, there we go. No, not yet.
Okay.
I need to see it.
Okay. And I will save my discussions for Twisters.
I think the next movie I'm gonna actually plan to go see is Romulus.
I mean, yes, Romulus is definitely worth a viewing. I agree. That trailer sold me pretty well.
Yeah.
But we will leave that discussion for another time. Folks, please,
Good
I hope
night,
you enjoyed
everybody.
the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, you do it better.
No, just
like, comment, subscribe. Give us your feedback. Give us your money.
Yeah. Let us know what you think.
More
of
than
this.
anything, give us money.
But no. Also,
I mean,
give us your hearts.
Oh,
but more importantly, money.
I mean, your affection can be.
I'll put that over
cash
my
and money.
heart.
There you go.
Wads of cash right here.
We haven't given you a way to give us our money, but do it anyway. Good night, everyone.
You figure it out.
I gotta work for it.
At Venmo, at Mindhead. I don't know if that's his Venmo. don't do that.
I'll have to make one.
Yeah, that's gonna be like somewhere like, oh, this went well.
Someone sent me $1.
Good night, everyone.
I asked for your $1 back.